Good afternoon, this is Cheryl at Sea Spirit Tarot. Sea Spirit Self Healing is my Facebook, one of my Facebook pages. Okay, I'm already jumping around. My guides, I'm working on my throat chakra. It's goopy, though it's getting better. And I'm here trying to get organized for the hashtag breadcrumbs back at Ouroborus. And I'm going to start this off with, I just thought this was such an awesome picture of an Ouroborus book I read. I'm going to have a lot of reflection. There's a lot of light coming in my house. There's just nothing I can even do about it. I'm a Drunvalo McKeestick fan. He also wrote about the serpent leaving Tibet and going to South America. And the thing I'm going to start with that I think is the most important, because it's all where we are basically heading, is your quest for everything else can wait, but your quest for God and self-realization cannot. And I believe that was Paramahansa Yogananda. Excuse me, I've been working with my daughter. My glasses have gotten knocked around. They seem like they don't stay right on me. So, I've made notes. I've walked away. I've made notes. We'll see what happens. I, like you, Natalia, for 20 years, I have received signs, though. Signs of that I should be reading cards, I should be teaching, advice that I should be teaching. And I always choose to, I'm always looking away like I'm going to talk to someone, and I have to remember that I'm talking to myself here. It's wild, okay? So, I resisted. And I'm aware of when those omens or whatever come my way. I mean, one of the best examples I have, and I didn't bring it in here, was a mask that I made at a shaman workshop in Bozeman. And instead of, the most important thing is when these things come, being aware and discerning. And I knew that that meant to come back home to the island, that I was being called, but I still had things going on with my kids, and so I didn't. I stayed much longer. So I'm pretty aware. I think of omens. I do not going against Jung at all, but there are no, in my mind, there are no coincidences. There are only synchronicities, and it's becoming aware. It's our unconscious becoming conscious with a knowingness, so that we are aware to see things, to plug into the matrix of our blueprint. And our blueprint is held in our pituitary, okay? And I just thought I would throw this in here because this is interesting. And in our pituitary is our soul blueprint, genetics that generate physical matter into forms such as our genes, carries karmic blueprints of abilities, skills, memories, and archetypes of previous lifetimes. It also permits the body to respond to the light and radiation that is coming in through your third eye. So, in physiology, the pineal regulates the pituitary relates everything else. And I know about bouncing my subjects, but I'm with you on that chakra thing, because like I said, I'm here for my solar and my chakra, and I'm here because my guides finally just mashed, or my higher self, my divine knowing, my search for the truth. All I want is the truth. It finally just knocked me down and mashed me down, and that's where I'm at. So, with work, we invite these lessons, but it's, in my head, it's all frequency, electricity, magnetics, awareness, omens, symbols, sounds, colors. It's like the tarot. All these people are coming back to tarot, or it appears to me, because I'm one of them, and I'll hear someone else say this similar. And we are part of opening this world and increasing everybody's awareness. If you want to use like that monkey syndrome, I mean, we are activating. Even people who choose not to activate are being brought in with the solar light, with the frequencies from the planet. So, activating, is like in the tarot, the chariot, it's getting your Merkaba in order to link into the geometry. Or like an avatar, when they rode those animals or whatever they were that were kind of like horses, and they just took that and they plugged in the electric circuit, and then all was one. So I wanted to bring that up. Into the void, the 0 point is when we have to be calm enough to go to see, because everything is moving, your chair, your table. But when you get in between the atoms, or in some of these rainbow bridges, people are talking about the 0 point of creation, and where knowingness becomes awareness. And when that happens, everything's, I sound so like everything's happening, but it doesn't. Things just start coming into your awareness. So all those things were coming to your awareness before, or were there, but you seeing them come to your awareness is, it takes an awareness. It takes a knowingness. And a knowingness that when you see them, the discernment, you look at them, you register it, you go on. And by the way, I universal law, I sat down to put this together. This is what I drew. I think crows are great record keepers and universal laws. I just love them. Down here, the grackles have about run out the crows. Can you imagine something being more aggressive than a crow? But this is all the bird sanctuary down here, so I think they're kind of out of balance. But the most important thing to me to remember with these synchronicities is energy wants to serve you, and the energy will come to you. Okay? And even the tarot, not even, I know it sounds minimizing, but the things you do, meditating, on your walk, being aware of sights, colors, sounds, feelings. And the tarot we talked about also opens up into the pineal, into the crown, into the connection with the full universe. So these signs that we get are like markers on our way, to me. It's like, oh, there's a marker. Or, oh, I have this picture. I've been attached to this picture of me and this Indian chief since I was 5 years old. I treaded my way and had those experiences that needed to be. I do a lot of stuff on signs and omens. And I know some readers I've listened to, they actually, before they do a reading, go take a walk. And sometimes just what they see, their omens out there, actually have more influence over them picking up the energy for the reading than the cards do. So my most important thing I always say is to listen to the sound behind the silence, which is something going to wilderness school and being where so few people have even ever been, is to open up. It is just it's ecstatic. I mean this whole thing, how all this fits together, to me is like erotically, ecstatically, orgasmically exciting. I mean, I'm glad that I got a step up, because you work and then the light kind of comes on, you go, oh ha, and then you kind of get used to that, and then you got to keep going. But just for grins and giggles, I sat on this carnelian under my butt for like 3 months, just watching YouTube, watching tarot readers. And I want to say, I was going through a boohoo love thing. So actually, the need for people to be there, even though I didn't purchase reading, the validation of that stuff, whether they seemed all quite the same to me, and whether that's going to happen or not, it doesn't matter, because now I'm on another trip. And someone that's not as to my level of where I want to go towards my self-realization, I really don't want to get dragged down. I'll wait till another life, huh? So basically, the sound behind the silence, unconscious becomes conscious. And it's the knowing and the awareness that we need to be aware of. Be aware. I don't even know if I'll put this up. This looks like a whole total mismatch. I wanted to bring up a book. It's an older book, Power versus Force, The Hidden Detriments of Human Behavior. This would be one of those tarot books that's not a tarot book, you know, like you've mentioned. And this goes through the levels in a society, levels of society where the vibration is. And just as, you know, there's been higher evolved societies before ours. But we had Metatron of Sacred Geometry that while that they were working on that grid to totally restrict us, he tweaked it. And he's the one I always think of in more of a copper, or when you see a metallic or a flash of light out the side of your eyes. That's getting an affirmation to me from Metatron. And there's another sign, and there's another omen. So I'm going to look through here because I don't know if I said all I wanted to say. But being aware that coming into knowingness. Now, I will say, I mean, I do my best to listen. And it's like Carolyn May says, sometimes it's when you get to the corner and something inside says turn left instead of right, and you turn left, and if you turn right, you would have had a major accident. So being aware of the connectivity of it all, and how the energy of it all connects. It's awareness. It's knowingness. And I don't believe there's coincidences. I believe everyone's a synchronicity. You can call the something a coincidence, but like you said, a week or 2 years down the road, you can find a whole different meaning in that. I was looking yesterday when we were out there on the water. I watched them come in. There was 5. I saw them. Then there was 6, and there was 7. 7 egrets. Egrets are one of those water birds, the long beak, long-legged ones. And then they moved south, across the street south to another area in somebody else's yard. And I don't know. I looked at that and go, what's the significance of 5 plus the 2 to the 7 and moving to the south? So is that going to serve me? I don't know. But maybe. It's just trying to be aware. We miss so much. We miss so much because our lives are so noisy, that the radio in the car all the time. People have like 5 and 6 TVs or more in their house, you know, in the bathroom, in the kitchen. There's never a time they put their head down to listen and see. And more than likely, they're going to know more where the Kardashians shopped than they are going to connect seeing a bird and a rock and a name. It might even be a neon a neon diner store sign that puts you to that place. So I think this was really a pretty clumsy response. I am grateful that Epona came out today. She is a strong symbol of independence, nurturing, intuitive understanding, instinct, and vitality, but she's basically the goddess of horses. And that's one of my favorite things. So I guess I don't have anything else to say. I had so much to say when I listened to her originally, but to me, it's all frequency. There's no coincidences. I don't have a PhD, but what resonates with me does and what doesn't, and that's this whole thing here is to spark. And I don't even think, I mean, it's words, it's labels. Here we are back to this wordy thing again, you know. Words can't describe. We did have a language of no words, and then we went to a language of words. And probably the next weird thing I'm going to unbox is some Arcturian messages, which have been coming up. Actually, all of these are crop circle things. So I think the key is to develop your frequency and your energy and to be aware. And I'm not trying to sound righteous. I'm just telling you where my thing is. And I'm glad for the golden seed that I got of life, but I'm not. I think our past is our present, and I think it's a hologram, and I think we exist on many aspects and many timelines just as we work to get rid of different aspects of ourself, or I shouldn't say get rid of, I should say accept, allow, work through, love, bring them in so we incorporate them in not a negative way. So I was so nervous on this video. I'm really not even sure what I said, but I said something. And I'm working with the thought that I'm just having an absolute ball because it's just all fitting in with all this frequency. On my page, Sea Spirit Self-Healing, Facebook business page, I call it because it was originally my essential oil page. I post a lot on human frequency, frequency of food, frequency of organs, your bodily organs, actions is some of the stuff that I throw in there because I am, look at me holding on to my sacral, my base chakra here to get through this. I am a frequency worker, and it's all electric and magnetic, and that's it. So blessings. Everybody work on their pituitary and their pineal. Keep those clean. And if those doctors, I know so many people that they're doing pituitary stuff on, and some of those tests are made from World War II of sailors when they were going through physical, and then they set those standards. World War II. This is almost 2020, where all the amazing electromagnetics and frequencies are coming from the sky. I mean, a 20-year evolution. They're also not the same standards as for women. So, as a retired RN into holistic and quantum, I urge you that if you get a diagnosis, check into it. Don't blindly take the white coat syndrome, because sometimes they don't know either, because they're people. They're just people. And it's all about our energy. And, in truth, if we can raise our vibration high enough, we can heal anything within our body anyway, because of stuff on the inside, on the outside, is a manifestation of what's on the inside. Okay, God bless you all. Goddess bless you all. Here's my response. It wasn't at all what I started it out to be. I'll see if I posted. Love and light, everybody. Blessings.